Hello. So, I want to do something that I haven't been doing lately. I want to actually do a load order video in the month that it belongs in. I know, this is a miracle, isn't it? Seriously, I've had enough time to play through this game with Porthos and fool around and find different creatures that everything appears to be working good. Don't seem to have any trouble traveling around or doing anything, fighting dragons and doing different things. And I will continue to show that through Porthos game as much as I can through the rest of this month. But nonetheless, and through some of the shows and things. But nonetheless, this is our load order for, what month is this? Is this September? I think we're still, okay, we're still in September, barely. By the time you see this, it may be October. So, rats, I did not make it. Nonetheless, this load order might cross over into October. I still have some things I want to play around with. So, alright, I'm just going to start us at the top here. I always use the unofficial Skyrim patch because there's so many things it patches and so many things, you know. If you played vanilla Skyrim like I did, especially on the 360, and you had the main quest line and other things glitch out on you and stop you from being able to finish the game, then you know what I'm referring to when I say that you really want this patch. There's, you know, it just fixes so many things, and I've not had any of those bugs and glitches since I've been using this and doing mods. This is the encounter mod. This is the main encounter mod in this load order. The only one they fear is you. It's very good. I've just done a show on that, so you can probably see that, but it's very good. It replaces all the little innocent creatures with monsters and bad guys. So, all right. Sorry, we had a slight interruption. Nonetheless, we have the friendly SMIM, which this is by Morgan Helsing. It's a very good SMIM. I tried to compare it to the larger original one, and it really seems just as good. So, but it's a lot smaller. We have returned to Skuldolphin. That just allows you, for the purpose of my shows and stuff, allows me to go back to Skuldolphin and get back to Sovngarde. Always dragons, so that we always have dragons for fun. That can make things interesting. Dragonborn delayed, so that we don't get the Dragonborn questline going too soon. Another Dawnguard starts at level 40. This again, to delay that. Mary's or Marie's, I guess this is Marie. It's your choice. Realistic grass field. I'm going to go with Marie's. Yeah. Anyway, this looks very good. You've probably seen this in some of the videos from Porthos and even a couple of maybe one or two little shows with Elris. I don't think I've done a lot yet. The usual landscape fixes, because you need that. And we have Draco's Natural Weathers. Now, for now, this mod works, and it's nice. The only problem is it has a break or a line in the sky. If you look up and look to your right, that's usually where I see it, is to my right. If you look up and to the right, you'll see like a break or a line in the sky. I'm hoping the modder will correct this, or the person that ported it, but if they do not, then they do not. I may replace it with something else. But for now, it does work, and it is nice if it just didn't have that line in the sky, okay? But since it's in here and I have been using it, I'm going to continue to use it for a little while longer. I need to go make a comment on the mod and let them know that they need to fix that. But I would think they would know, but just in case. Fantasy Night Sky, you've probably seen this. It's just something fun and different. I have no other excuse. It's colorful. It's very, what would be the word? Fantasy style. Yeah, it is very fantasy, I guess. It's very, artsy, I guess. It's not really extremely realistic, but it's very colorful and fun. So, display enhancements. Don't I always have display enhancements? Free camera. Sometimes still use that. Sometimes not as much. You can use dynamic camera if you want to mess around with your third-person view and stuff more. It's up to you. Amazing follower tweaks, of course, to manage my followers. Now this is the Enhanced Mighty Dragons. Last time we did the Slotty Mighty. This time we've done the Mighty Mighty. Okay, so this is the Mighty version. It's the next step up. So we'll do some dragons, and I may do a whole separate show on it just so that you can see the difference, if there is much difference, but it just will give you an idea of the toughness. I thought a Mightier Dragon mod, because the first dragon I ran into in the game, like on Porthos, was so wimpy. I was like, for me to have this really tough encounter mod and then to have wimpy dragons, that was really dumb. So I pulled this out. So we got My Home is Your Home. This mod is very hard to find. Do not search for My Home is Your Home. If you want to find this mod, search for Amazing Follower Tweaks and scroll far to the right, and this mod will come up for you. That is really dumb. But Bethesda's search is not always the best. I'm not sure how they do their search criteria, but I know that the search doesn't search just the name of the mod, it actually searches the descriptions, which is useful, but sometimes we mention a mod so much in so many descriptions that all you get is the mods that have it in the description. You don't see the original mod. It's very annoying. Tailor's Measure. This is how I change the clothes of people in the game if I just want to change their clothes for whatever reason. Now this is Liam's Craftable Armors. I've not done a show on this. However, I have looked at it and messed around with it a little bit. And things are a little different than the other mod I usually use, but it's still very good. So we'll do a show on this and show how this works. And some of these mods I do owe you shows on, okay? So definitely remember that. There's going to be some shows coming with these newer mods that I haven't tried before. This is just the No Friendly Fire for Amazing Follower Tweaks. This is my free crafting. It's not mine, I'm sorry. This is a free crafting mod that I've been using for a long time. Enchantment mods that I've been using. No enchantment restrictions. Unlimited enchantments. If you combine these two together, then wow, you can really over-enchant yourself. Superhuman Jumping. I like the 10x. The 5x is very good too, and some people recommend that. And I will say this about the 5x. I never died using the 5x. You can kill yourself with the 10x, so you have to be a little more careful. But I don't care. I like the 10x. It's quite a bit of fun. So then there's these improved candles. I like the black candles. Maybe I'll change to a different color next time, but I like them. City trees. All the towns and all the cities have more flowers and trees. It's very nice. I think they look good, and we'll do a show on this. I haven't done a show on that yet. Powerful Torch. Powerful Torch is cool. It basically gives you a better, brighter torch with a bigger glow area. Okay, now here's a mod we have not tested or done anything with at all. So this is here, and I haven't tried it yet, so I'm going to admit that we have not tried it yet. There's going to be a show on this, or if it happens to be bad and totally fails, it will be a test. But my intent is to do a show. It's really big for a player home, 436 megabytes. That's really huge. But someone had requested this, and I was going to do this. So I am going to do that. You are going to see that. Cheat room. Enough said. The cheat room does so many things. There's so many mods that you just don't need because of the cheat room. And I'm always finding more and more stuff that I can do with the cheat room. So the cheat room is just chock full of things. Always have the cheat room, even if you don't use anything else. The cheat room can help you fix a quest problem, like if you lose a quest item somehow or something. You know, there's a lot of good stuff. All right. Goodies chest. This is just something I use to play around with, and it helps me make copies of some NPCs. You can spawn them. And it really makes a copy of them. It does not actually use the real NPC. So it does make a copy of them. This is crafting supplies all in one, just a convenience mod. Now this is a Median-born Book of Silence. Now, this is a nice mod, and it redoes all of these armors and weapons that it mentions here, and it adds some new ones. It adds some new ones, like it adds some variants for Ebony, and does it mention Elven here? It should. It does not. Yeah, it mentions Elven, but it doesn't mention that it makes it a dark Elven, which is really nice. I've got Serana wearing that. You'll see more of that. Plus, some of Porthos' followers are using different ones, different things. And it affects all these weapons, too. And miscellaneous. Magnus. And this is a pretty big version. There is another version of this that Torshana has out there that is smaller. And I may give it a whirl just to see if I can see what the differences are, if there is any. I don't think it includes the Eye of Magnus, but I think other than that, they're pretty much the same. So this one was newer, and who's this ported by? Presented by Jarl Ballin 89. Is that correct? I guess it is. Anyway, that would be the person that's porting it. It's an interesting port. There is a thing I have in my game where I'm looting someone, and it's the very first time I loot someone when I go into the game and start playing. It's very slow, but I think it's only with females, and I think it's due to the Pyrocast body that I'm using. Now, mind you, all this stuff is working. However, working and then having like a slight issue like that, it's still, it's still a slight issue. It's not a huge issue because it only happens once. When I first start playing and the first time I loot some female, maybe a bandit or something that I killed, I think it has something to do with the Pyrocast body or the Pyrocast armor, which is this is just an armor refit for the Pyrocast body, which is the female's body. It's more of a UUNP body. So, nonetheless, this is a decent replacer. Now, mind you, this affects guys and girls. This only affects the girls, and it's really just supposed to reshape the armor. I don't think there's any texture built in. So, however, it is supposed to reshape the armor to this body. Armor circlets, and so far from what I've seen, it does work. I'm not saying that it doesn't. So from what I've seen, it seems to work. I think they're working on a skimpy version, and I haven't seen it yet. It could come out any time, but I haven't seen it yet. Armored circlets. This is a standby of mine so that I can make armored circlets for fun. Nocturnal's clothes in case I want to be able to make those. Craftable elven light armor and the ebony mail. This is just a little something that adds it to your forge, so you can make those. Botox for Skyrim. This is Master B's version, and you're seeing this in Porthos game, and you're seeing this right now in any shows I do, and I'm going to do a show on this. As far as giving a direct comparison to Morrigan Helsing's version, that I don't really have the way to do that. I'm not that good with the video working, and I don't know how I would take the two and pair them up, and I'm not that good. I just have to admit it. I'm not that good at video editing and stuff. What you see from me, that's about the height of my skill level right now. I will continue to work on that, and maybe at some point I will be able to do this. But nonetheless, it seems very good. It's slightly smaller than Morrigan Helsing's. I think Morrigan Helsing took the original Botox and tried to add and do some things to it. And they succeeded mostly, but there's always a few characters that have this weird blue and pink hair that just looks out of place and weird. And then occasionally you get this graphical glitch where it looks like they have this long strand of hair being stretched from their body, and then some of them go invisible occasionally. So there are some glitches with Morrigan Helsing's that I have not seen in this one. This one seems a purer port I don't think they've tried to mess with it as much. I think they've really just tried to port it over. It works very well. I think it's very nice, and it may be my new Botox, okay? And not because it's smaller, but just because I haven't seen any of the little glitches. However, I haven't played with it as long. I may see them later on. This is Marvelous Mirabelle. Makes Mirabelle your follower. After you finish all the College of Winterhold stuff, you'll get a little letter that says, "Hey, come and see me. I'm alive," etc., etc. The Raccoon Courier Replacer. Now, if you've been watching Porthos videos, you've already seen this fellow. He's pretty funny. I don't know how I would do a show on him. I'll have to capture some moment. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll capture some moment where the raccoon shows up, and we'll use that as somehow for our show. But nonetheless, it's very funny. It's obviously a guy in a raccoon suit, and it's so dumb. It is so dumb, but I enjoyed it. Maybe you will. Just for a novelty, you know. So this is Ashara's Merchants and Traders and Inns. I've been using this for a long time. And this is Lady RK. She is a follower. Now you can see her in Porthos game. I went and had him pick her up. And I will do a show on her as well. Now here we have some hairdos. We have KS hairdos for men, which I want to do a show on this. Now this pack, let me see. This is for men, human only. I think this is only the hairdos for men, and it's only for humans. So I think that description is kind of misleading. I think there's about 90 hairdos for guys, is what they're saying. 91 male hairdos in this mod, I think, is what we're talking about. It's a little confusing because they copied that from the original KS hairdos, but I know that there's not 800 and some hairdos in this mod. It would be huge, and it's not. So with that in mind, though, I wanted to just look at some different hairdos and do something different, especially for the guys. I was wanting Porthos to have some options. I have found that I really just don't like most of the male hairdos, even in that pack. But we'll go over that when I do that. So then there's this KS hairdo. There's this KS Hairstyles pack by someone else, and it contains these. They gave these hairstyles these names. Those names don't mean a lot to me. But now, if you're very familiar with these hairstyles, it may mean something to you. But I found that I liked some of the ones in this pack, so I decided to use them for my girls. See what I thought. Again, not compatible with beast races and not compatible with males. Then I have the usual superior lore-friendly hair, etc., etc. Definitive Beauty Pack. This is the new Definitive Beauty Pack. It is very good. It is based off the Botox idea, which makes all your presets look very, very nice for the girls. And, of course, you can do a lot more with that. They did add some makeup and stuff in it, but they didn't overload it. It's not so packed full of stuff that it's unusable. It's very, very good in its current state. Better male presets. That's just for the guys, of course. And then this is the Pyrocast body. I said that we were testing out the body and everything seems fine. The only thing I would say is that, like I said, when I first loot that very first person in the game in a session, now not just in the game, but in the session, and every time I load into the game new, and the very first time I do that, the game takes a long pause while I get that loot, but then it continues from there and everything's fine. So I don't know what causes that, if it's the underwear or the body, but something does that. Give me just a moment. Be right back. Alright, but I'll do a show on this body and we'll see where that takes us. Now this is the eyes of, I'm going to say Aber, by Aberon, and this was ported over by someone, I don't remember. But nonetheless, this is by Aberon, And this is a very interesting eye mod. I might keep this around. It's about 18 megabytes, but that's not too big. That's pretty cool. Now here we have Real Girl's realistic body texture. Don't get me wrong, it's fine, and if you like this, that's great. It's not for me. But I'm using it because it came from the same modder that does the Pyrocast body, and I wanted to like do the whole package and see, but I really don't care that much for it. It's just not my thing. They say it's photorealistic. It's good. It's good. Is it photorealistic? I don't know. Nonetheless, I haven't seen any problems with it. That's right. I have not seen any trouble with it. It does work. I'm just not sure that it's to my taste. That's the thing. It's a very subjective thing. But it does work, and you've seen it on some of my people, and you will see it probably for the next few weeks. I don't know if I'll replace it anytime soon. Disclaimer inserted here. Everything I say is subject to change because I could run into something this Saturday or find some new mod uploaded that I would be like, oh, I have to try it. And there I would change everything. So that's my disclaimer. Understand that I'm telling you my intent, but my intent can change depending on what I find being uploaded. So here's my usual tempered skins for males. It also has the male body included, which is cool. Now, here we have some Amidian-born. This is a landscape. So this is a landscape, Amidian-born landscape, okay? It includes bridges, mountains, roads, dirt, cliffs, and all the other landscape textures you'd expect. Anyway, from what I can tell in my game, I like it. It seems good. It's my usual door mod. You know, we have to have the fancy doors. This is the Solstheim landscape mod from Amidian-born. When I say Amidian-born, it's created by this Cabal 120. So, and Spiral Gaming, Stone Spiral Gaming is the one that ported these over. And this is Amidian-born Caves and Mines. I'll have to do some shows on these, but these look cool. These are nice. The Amidian-born Farmhouse and the Amidian-born Imperial Forts. So that's cool. Then we have Rally's Solstheim Plants 2K. Not too big, so I thought it'd be worthwhile just to see if we can spruce up some of these plants and stuff. You know, this is the Better Trees mod. This really, and I will do a show on this as well. It really just makes the tree look better. The trunk and everything looks better. So that's just what I think. You can decide for yourself. Now, this is Marie's Flora All in One. I'm using Marie's grass, so I saw this and I was like, you know, I would be interested in seeing all of this. So now it does replace Solstheim's mushrooms, so that may conflict a little bit with Rally's Solstheim plants. But I don't think it replaces the rest of Solstheim stuff. It just does the mushrooms for some reason. So, I decided to go with it. So there's one thing here that you won't really see. The mushrooms won't. You probably won't. Well, we'll try to fix that up when we do a show. Now, I've done a show on this. This is Clever Sharp's photorealistic lock. It's very nice. Looks very good. This is my usual quality world map stuff that I like. I didn't have a lot of space left, as you can tell, so I decided to use Cathedral Water Overhaul so my water would look nice. And I added this in, and I have not checked it out yet, so I cannot tell you how good it looks or not. So warning, not checked it out yet, going to do a show on it. This is the spray. This is supposed to improve what we see up around Dawnstar on the coast. If you remember, I showed some of this when I was doing the Realistic Waters 2 show. I showed some of this spray and how it looked. This is supposed to make it look better. We'll see. Okay, now for a couple of things that are new for me. I don't know if they're new for you. This is Cartoful's. I'm going to say Cartoful. Cartoful's quality cube maps. Now, this is a change to the cube maps in the game that really affects reflections, so that your reflections in metal surfaces should be a lot better. They do recommend that you put this lower down below your other textures so that all the cube maps will be this high quality cube map and not be the vanilla cube map. So I do have it in a good place for my game. Okay, so it is in a good place for my game, the way I do my textures. Having it low below, okay, here we say, I would say load it after any mods containing textures to make sure it overwrites mods which have vanilla cube maps packed in them. It's compatible with pretty much everything, since it only changes the reflections. So now it could be that if you had a mod like Shiny, Sky Realism Shiny, it could be that this would enhance it, or that this would break your game. I don't know. I did not look specifically at that mod, but I would think that mod might affect cube maps a little bit. Now, this might make it better, though. It would be interesting to try that test. And if I get a chance, if I think of it, I will. Just because I think of it now, I don't mean I'll remember it in 10 seconds, but it's a thought. Now, then there's High Poly Project. Now, I really had to look at this and try to figure out what this was. So I actually had to research both of these a little bit. So this is really, I think of this as like an SMIM extension. This is, it's just an improvement to some things. It's, it just improves the models in some things. It gives them some more polygons, makes them look better. So it does give you these examples here of loading before and after. But I don't know why that floral collection would need to be after. Anyway, I just included it low down because it's not bothering anything. Everything looks good. And I'm enjoying the little extra spiffiness. I will say that. And this may be something I want to do a show on. It may be hard to do a show on. I only know of, right now I can only remember one specific item. I know it changes. So I will have to, again, look it up again and get a list of things for us to look at so that we can see the difference. Nonetheless, I'm kind of trusting them, but at the same time, the one item I can remember are the horns, and the horns do look better with this. So, anyway, there's my Uthgard makeover and my Mjall makeover. XP32, I use this one. It has all the stuff built in that I want. Female orcs use female animations, alternate start. Color patches remover, new beginnings. This is an extension for alternate start, and I like it. It gives you a lot more options, more females, just so you have more females in the game. It takes a lot of those generic guys and changes them over to be females. You'll have more female guards, that sort of thing. Forever Corpse. This is supposed to allow you to reanimate a body over and over, so that when it falls, when its time runs out, it doesn't just fall to ash, but it's still a corpse. It still seems to be working. There are still times when a body will turn to ash, and it's due to lightning spells. I don't have any way to prevent that other than you could not take that perk, I suppose, but sometimes your followers are using the lightning spells, and if they already have, if they do that, then, if they have the ability to turn them to ash, then there's not much you can do about it. Then we have Rich Merchants of Skyrim, which I always use. It just makes it easier for me to be able to sell stuff. And they say it can be placed anywhere in your load order, but I have found repeatedly that it's better just to keep it low. You never know when something's going to mess it up. So, and then this is the No Tail, Argonian, and Khajiit mod. It just removes their tails, which I wish this worked with everything. It doesn't work with Morrigan Helsing's Khajiit and Argonian replacer. I wish it did. It would be the perfect solution because those Argonian tails look so horrible. nonetheless, and this is Xbox One X Shadows. This removes or gets rid of the weird shadows on your character's body. They do say there's a little trade-off in that you might notice a little difference with your grass. I find it to be perfectly fine. I've not had any trouble with it. It works really well, and I've noticed the shadows that do appear on my characters now look more realistic and look better. So, and this was Skeletor's doing. It's a very good thing. They say it's a slight visual downgrade, so just be aware. I feel like that little bit of trade-off is worth it, so it's very minor. Nonetheless, that is it. That is my load order for this month, the month of September. Hopefully I will get it published. Well, we're so close to the end of September, you may not see this till October, I know. But I'm trying. I'm really trying. We'll do the best we can. This load order may not change much in the next few weeks, so because I still have a lot to do with it, so this load order may actually carry us into October, but I may make some changes and do another load order for October, especially if I feel like enough things have changed to make it worthwhile, okay? Alright, so I hope this has been helpful to you. Hope you have a wonderful day. And I will catch you later. Alright, I don't know what video you just watched, but I hope it was good. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, think about clicking on this subscribe button here, or watching that next video in the box there. I mean, it can't get any worse, can it? Well, you can always hope.